Welcome to MMT Chats. This episode brought to you by ISCAR with new ideas for machining intelligently.
Hey, MMT followers, Christina Fuges with MoldMaking Technology back for another quick MMT chat. Today, I welcome back Katherine Pistorius with EDRO Specialty Steels out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She's on my side of the great state of Pennsylvania. She's with me today to catch up on things or how things have changed since her and I last spoke when she was part of MoldMaking Technology's 30 Under 30 honors program. And I think that was in 2021. I think her story, as it unfolds, will naturally highlight the variety of career opportunities that are available in manufacturing for all of those next-gen manufacturing professionals who are listening in right now. And she'll shed some light on how this opportunity came about and how she got here. So hi, Katherine.
Hi, Christina. Thank you for having me.
No problem. All right. So Katherine has dual roles these days. In addition to being a project engineer for the past 4 years, she is also the regional sustainability coordinator for voestalpine high performance metals. So before we get into this dual role, can you explain who EDRO Specialty Steels is compared to who voestalpine high performance metals is for everybody?
Definitely. So to keep it really simple, voestalpine is pretty much the parent company of EDRO. So they're under that group. voestalpine is also leading in the market for tool steel. So there's a lot of overlap in their markets. voestalpine also does automotive, oil and gas, mechanical engineering, consumer goods, industries like that. So voestalpine High Performance Metals is an international group. About 50,000 employees, just about, wow. And it's all over the world. So EDRO is one of the key companies. They're based out of Austria.
Okay. All right. So why don't you quickly remind us of your journey into manufacturing and how you landed at EDRO specifically?
Sure. So back in 2017, I was at Penn State University going for industrial engineering. I've always really liked engineering as a discipline, but manufacturing engineering always caught my eye because of the amount of moving parts, the flexibility of the degree, and the fact that it's so applicable to so many different industries. And I was in college, and I actually had just graduated, and I was taking a few months off, kind of figuring out what I wanted to do with my career. And I was talking to a coworker at a restaurant I was working at, saying that I wanted an engineering job, but I wanted one that was flexible, where I could travel, and it had a more fluid work environment. And she said, I know somebody who's in a position just like that. And she got me in contact with Rob Curran, who is a metallurgist at EDRO. And I was signed up for an interview, and the rest is history.
And here you are.
I know. 5 years later, they can't get rid of me. So.
That's right. And that's a testament to a lot that we'll talk about that. So why don't you break down for us, what does your day look like as a project engineer?
So it's funny because this question is actually one of the hardest to answer because it's never the same. And that's why I like the job. I work on a portfolio of projects at a time. Normally a handful that are long-term, a handful that are short-term. My days are broken into probably about 25 to 50% meetings, whether they be workshops, trainings, team management. I work with teams that are national and international, so a lot of that is online. And throughout the rest of the day, I'm trying to just continue my work from a ground level on whatever I can support for these projects personally.
All right. So where does this regional sustainability coordinator come into play? And how did this role come about for you?
Yeah, it's funny because I've been working with the region. And when we say region, that's obviously voestalpine's high performance metals. And for the region, it's North America. So that includes Canada, United States, and Mexico. And the company has a few different regions. There's international, Central Europe, Asia Pacific, and then North America, which is the one that I'm under. And so I've been working with the region with my Lean and Six Sigma. So a lot of my project management has to do with these big, I guess you could call them communities. We call them community practices, where we work with other individuals all over the world. We gain insight from other projects happening. And through that, I gained a lot of connections with people in the region, and the sustainability buzzword just kept popping up. And more, especially in Europe, since we're a European company, there's a lot of pressure from a government standpoint, as well as social, to take sustainability and bring it to the front of manufacturing. So they have a core team out of Europe that works on a variety of different pillars, we call them. We can talk about that later. And they needed regional sustainability coordinators from each role, from each region, to act as a doorway between communication with all the employees in that region to the core team, to make sure that information is being exchanged, that there's collaboration, that the resources are there. And I have always had such a passion for sustainability, and my boss has always known that. So he put my name into the hat for the role, and I was lucky enough to get it.
That's just awesome. And I know from the last time we spoke, you were, I mean, I guess it's connected because we're talking about waste in a different way, but your whole lean, your passion for that side of manufacturing too is very interesting to me. Another angle of coming in as an engineer, being exposed to all this manufacturing and the process and the operations. And that then turned into this. I think it's neat to see the path that anybody can take coming in. You can have a preconceived notion about what your job might have been, and look where it's taking you. And it's a passion of yours. So that makes it really exciting, and you can tell.
Yeah. And I think the best part is that sustainability is just such a all-encompassing subject that it really is relevant to so many jobs. Like my project engineer position is pretty much what I do for sustainability, just with a different audience, you know, cutting waste, using energy efficiency technologies, you know, all of those things that are Lean Six Sigma principles are lowering your CO2 footprint.
Yes.
So it's a mutual benefit. It really works out.
That's interesting. So that pretty much answers my next question, was how it fits into your project engineer. So that explains that. How much time, is it a concrete split between the responsibilities of that coordination job and the engineering job, or is it really blended?
Yeah, so that in lies the trouble of predicting these roles, right? So when I was first initially presented with the position, it was meant to be maybe 5 hours a week, you know, just a little bit of time just to make sure that everything's going smoothly, once in a while some more. And I swear, I mean, over the past 8 months that I've been kind of diving into this role, it has exponentially increased with time. And the projects that I'm leading are so much more involved, and the sustainability projects are just so wide scale with so many different facilities that one project can be equivalent to like maybe 3 time-wise with EDRO. So right now I'm really trying to keep my majority at my project engineering position. I definitely would say probably about a quarter of my time is in the sustainability role, but that increased from 5% over the course of 8 months. So who's to say what it'll be?
That is true. Year. So outside of lean, or that whole background, what other skills and training are involved in the sustainability role?
Yeah, so it's funny because all these trainings, a lot of them are internal. So right now we have some focal points, one of them being circular economy. So making sure our materials come back to us and we recycle them. You know, climate impact, which is carbon reduction, social impact, sustainable sourcing, making sure our vendors have, you know, good CO2 regulations as well. And all of these things are being trained to us right now. So, and a lot of these things are being developed from the ground up for our company. So we are working together to create these criteria, to go through these trainings, to be exposed to all these different topics. So it's a lot of trainings and skills, but I wouldn't say that they're formalized to a point where, you know, it's this certification with this number, right. You know, it's very just fluid, trying to get everybody on board with all the new information coming in.
Yeah. So I guess it's kind of related to that. So when you think about the future of the role, maybe the training and will be formalized as, right, as the position kind of develops into something, right, that you might not know what the future plans are, because that was going to be my question, is where do you see for yourself, or even within the company itself, that type of a role going in 5 years, 10 years?
It is so hard to predict, as you just said. I think it also is region specific. So for our company, the way that it's set up, for example, like the regional representatives from Europe and international have a lot more support from the core team, since they're all located in the same area. So I think maybe for the North American region, there needs to be a little bit more of like a team that revolves there, just to make sure that there's like a team of experts on, all across the globe. So I think that is kind of what I see the roles becoming. For me, my goal for the role is to help to create these great roadmaps for the company, help them reach their targets. Voestalpine officially announced that their goal is to have 50% CO2 reduction by 2029 for scopes 1 and 2. And that's a big undertaking.
Yes.
So there's plenty of work to be done and a lot that goes into it. So I would just really like to be a part of these amazing initiatives and use my lean tools and lean expertise to also help that. So I think keeping them both, the lean and the sustainability, nurtured within my career is my personal goal.
I love that. Well said. All right. Last but not least, I have to know what keeps you motivated, not only within manufacturing and the role you have, but what keeps you motivated every day to remain at EDRO?
EDRO has been very kind to me, and it has continued to be so over my career. And I have motivation to be here because my days are so different. The opportunities for my career seem very expansive. I don't feel pigeonholed at all. I feel like the world is my oyster, like I can explore this, I can explore that. And I have the support of my management to take on these larger projects, to keep expanding my portfolio. And as long as I have that, I'm so content, and it's never failed so far.
That is wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Katherine, for sharing that. It's a great update. And again, I think it was a great way to show people out there, especially the young ones coming into manufacturing, that you never know where your degree or your entry into manufacturing can take you. So thanks again for your time.
Of course. Thank you.
And to everybody watching, remember, for everything mold making, visit moldmakingtechnology.com. Stay informed and stay inspired.